Hello, in this video we will solve Natas 19. So this web page looks similar to Natas 18, but there's an additional line at the top which tells us that the session IDs are no longer sequential. We are not provided with the source code, but it shouldn't matter since the source code is mostly similar to that of the previous level. Let's try to solve this level using a Python script instead of using verb suit as we did in the previous level. First, we'll write a basic Python script to send a post request to this web page. Since the text says that we need to log in using the admin account, it seems that the username should be admin, but we don't have any idea about the password for now. So let's use any username that we want and put the password and send the post request. So the syntax for this in Python would look something like this. The response variable will contain the response we get from sending this post request. The cookies must also be present inside this response. So we can take a look at the cookies using the print or session cookies command. Hence, this is our basic script, which will be used to display the cookies. So we'll run this script. As you can see, we received the PHP session ID. In the previous level, the session IDs started from 1 and ended from 640. But it seems our current session ID contains digits and alphabets. So this requires a bit of intuition, but digits and alphabet may be hexadecimal values. So the hexadecimal number system is a type of number system that has a base value equal to 16. It is also pronounced sometimes as hex. The hexadecimal numbers are represented by 16 symbols 1 to 9 and then A to F. Each digit represents a decimal value. So surely like the previous level, the session ID depends on our inputs. So let's maybe try changing our input and observe the changing in session ID. So we'll change our username to maybe a blank value and then again run the script. So as you can see, the session ID has been reduced to a very small one. So now we know that after this point, this is a username that has been encrypted. So if we want to break the encryption, we can use a function which would look something like this. Print bytes, which tells us that we are breaking down the inserted string in form of bytes from hex as we are converting from hex session.cookies PHP session ID as that is what we want to convert. So if we put admin here, we can put admin here and run the code. So when we run the code, we get our result from the PHP session ID as 335-admin. Now we know from the previous code that 335 might be a session ID that was similar to what we saw in the previous code. So as source code is similar, we will make an assumption that session IDs are again from 1 to 640, and after that there is a dash and then there is admin. So again we will use a brute force attack, changing only this part of the session ID. So if this time we will use the Python scripts to do a brute force attack. So if you were to write it in Python script, it would look something like this. And uncomment this part. You can see that this is our Python script for the brute force attack will look like. We'll constantly ask for sessions. We will print what key we are using for this particular try, and then we will put in PHP session ID as %d-admin, encode it to hex and pass it on. In the response, if we receive you are an admin, we'll stop the loop because we will get our password and credentials for Natas 20 in that. So we will again run this Python script. This was left. So now we can see that it starts trying numerically. So it will take some time as it is a brute force attack for it to try all the numbers. But after some time, it should look something like this. It will stop at a particular number. For us, it was 281. It might change. But as you can see, it has given us a lot of info. So it shows us that you are now an admin. The credentials for the next layer are username Natas20, and here we have our password.